You're right now, life in the Philippines, love change, nation, and poverty, and issue. One nation under rule, one love.
Hello, my friends. This is BobbieD coming to you live from Talamban Cebu Philippines. I'm having an awesome time in the Philippines today. Hope you are as well. But if I hate it down, I want to talk to you about life in the Philippines, relationship tips, how childhood affects your relationships. In the Philippines. Yeah, man. Life in the Philippines, relationship tips, how childhood affects your relationship in the Philippines. Yeah. Here we go again. Here we go. Merry-go-round, round we go. But yeah, this is life, man. It's about from the cradle to the grave. It's all about relationships. And if you don't know that by now, you got some issues. Because everything revolves around relationship. Mm-hmm. How people do what? Relate to each other. Hmm? How you relate to your mom. How you relate to your sister. How you relate to your dad. How do you relate to your Lord. How do you relate to your community. How do you relate to everything revolves around relationship. And the thing about it, guys, it starts from the cradle. From the time you got spanked brand new into this world, that's when you started learning how to relate. Mm-hmm. And the first teacher in this world was who? Who was your first teacher? I ain't talking about the one in school, man. Your mama. Yeah. The lady that birthed you. Uh-huh. Your mama. That was your first teacher. She introduced you to the world. And she started showing you things. And she started teaching you how to eat and how to everything. Yeah. Your mama. And so how you relate to your mama, my guys, is a very, very significant indicator of how you relate to others. Are you with me, JP? So let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna break this all tonight. I'm gonna break everything down. I'm gonna say in one sentence. Well, a couple sentences. Okay. If you relate to your mother and your father well, and your sisters and brothers, you're going to relate to most everybody else well in life. If you do not relate to your mother and your father and your sisters and your immediate circle, immediate family well, guess what? You're going to have some issues in life. Okay? You're not playing with you? Go back to the history books, man. Look at all the mass murders. Look them up and look back. Go back in their childhood, okay? You will find out they had some messed up relationship with their parents. Not only did they have messed up relationship with their parents, man, they had messed up relationship with the school teachers. Charles Manson. Go look them up, okay? Crazy people do crazy things, and they call they crazy. Crazy. They got issues up here that were never resolved from where? Childhood. So understand me, ladies and gentlemen. You said, Bobby, what they got to do with me in my life? What they got to do with my relationship? I'll tell you, man. I just broke it down to you in a 2-year-old fashion. Everything we do is based on relationship, and relationship that establishes us, as grounded us as a person, is our relationship when we have our relationship with a mom and pop and family. So if you don't get along with them, you're not gonna get along with nobody else that will until you get yourself fixed, until you understand what is wrong with you. You say, "But you put it on me, it ain't get anybody else." No, everything begins with you. If it is to be, it's up to me. You want to have a good life? You think the government gonna help you have a good life? No. If it's to be, it's up to me. Stop depending on somebody else to make you happy. Happiness comes from within. And if you don't have this inside right, tight, long, and strong, that inside, you're gonna be messed up. Okay? I'm trying to show you everything is related, interrelated, and connected in this world. And when you see it as such, you can deal with the world and the challenges that come to you in a better form and fashion. You won't have to crumble and cry. I can't take this. I can't take it, and get in depression. because you understand what's going on. And when you have a knowledge of what's going on within you and within others, as you relate to them, within your lady, as you relate to her, as you relate to you know the dynamics that go on between you, you can deal with it better. Because what happens is when you don't have knowledge of the situation and the circumstances, like, then you are fearful of that. And whenever somebody's fearful of something, they're going to do one or two things. They're going to run, or they're going to fight. You ever heard of fear and fight factor? Whenever you're confronted with something new, you don't have no knowledge, you're going to either be scared and you're going to run, or you're going to be scared and you're going to fight. Okay? Fear, flight factor. Okay? So that's what happens in relationships. When we come up with something, we don't know why she's doing it, and you take it out on your lady. Or your lady take it out on you, vice versa. Fear. False evidence fear that causes us to strike out or run away. That's why a lot of relationships break up. Fear. I don't know if he messing up on me. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna let him go. Yeah. Same way. I don't know what she's doing, but I gotta let her go. Fear. We don't even take the time to make the time, take the time to break the time to learn our significant others and to learn about ourselves first. I told you before, when you deal with a woman or when you deal with a partner, or somebody you're trying to go with or whatever, whether it's lady, man, whatever, you need to look at them inside out. Inside out. Don't let the hype fool you. Don't let that weed fool you. Don't let them ruby red lips fool you. Don't let all that 36, 24 fool you, okay? Inside out, okay? When you understand, when you deal with somebody, you know them inside out, then you know if you shake their crazy. I told y'all that I was talking to you in street vernacular and keep it simple, right? It's crazy. You're going to know it's crazy now. You got to know that before you get all totally involved with somebody. So today we're going to take a look at, I told you that we were going to look at the pleaser, but we're going to do that tomorrow. The reason why I'm taking a little detour in our study is because I understand that we have to always, before we go into anything deep, we have to develop a what? Foundation, a base, a basis from which we can draw upon and move further up from the foundation we're going to move up. If you hang with me in the next series of videos and broadcasts, you're going to have a solid base of understanding, and not only of yourself, but of others that you deal with, okay? As we go through understanding ourselves, then we can better understand what others. Are you with me? And if we love ourselves, then we can love others as well. If we respect us, one who respects himself can respect others. You'll be surprised. So many people in this world have no common decency and respect for themselves. World is crazy, man. It's crazy people out there. Indecent, disrespectful. They have no respect for themselves. That's why they're cussing somebody out don't mean nothing to them. Because it's been done to them so many times they used to it. Don't even fade them. It's like a little vibe. All right, but let's go. I have a whole lot of folk here. So guess what? You know what? When I don't have a whole lot of folk in the house, you know what I do? Boom. So we get rid of them. Boom. All right, so we're going to talk about the inner child today. Okay, real quick. And the reason why I'm talking about the inner child before we go to other topics is because everything we talk about after this is based on the inner child, okay? Because it's the inner child, the concept called the inner child, that determines how well you are developed, and sometimes your inner child, that is your childhood experiences, may have been lacking in some areas. And because of that, you grow up as an adult, but you're still a child mentally because or emotionally, because what you did not get what you needed in childhood to go on to an adult level in any consistent fashion. Okay, so inner child has everything to do with your life and my life and everybody you deal with. If you have a damaged inner child, you're gonna have a damaged life. Okay, and that's what people that wind up doing the mass murders, people that wind up doing all the shooting and robbing and all that kind of, you trace it back to their lives. It was jacked up when as soon as they hit the floor from their mama womb. They was jacked up. Okay. And you know, a lot of them don't even understand they were jacked up. All they know is I hate the world. You know, that's all they know. Because that inner child is so hurt. That inner child is so damaged until it needs healing. It never gets healed. Okay, let me tell you something. If you have a sore on your arm, right? You got a sore on your arm, and it's just you don't do nothing. Put no salve on it. You don't put no band-aid on it. What are you gonna do? What that sore on? That's a wound, right? It's an open wound, and that's what a lot of happens when we are children. Our inner children, we have open wounds that never what healed. They never were ministered to, and so they fester. They fester. They grow until it consumes our whole personality. And you wonder why Charles Manson and all them people do crazy stuff. Inner child, how they were raised, and when they had issues, nobody dealt with them. They didn't even deal with them. Okay. So, and it's a blessing that a lot of us, you know, so Bobby said, well, how come I came out all right? Why didn't come out all right? I didn't know about no dinner child. You didn't know nothing, but somebody, the Lord helped you, or your mother helped, somebody got you through. I put my glory to the Lord. He got me through my stuff. I still have some stuff on the side that I'm dealing with every day, just like you. You know, you might not want to admit it, but we all got issues. You know, sometimes I go trace stuff back in my life, and I remember some things that happened to me, and I never have dealt with those. But I understand that they happen, and I'm continually dealing with them to keep them down. Because if I let them come up and submerge and cover me, they will submerge me down into hell. I don't want to do that. So I put those little demons in a little compartment inside of my life, and I keep them there. You know, I keep them in the cage. Like, we all got that, man. You know, man, I'm just so glad that I got this. I'm gonna show this stuff to you, man. We're gonna be out of here, man. Look, I don't have a lot of folk here today, so I ain't gonna take too much time. All right, let's go. We talked about this yesterday on our last live stream broadcast. Was it R. Kelly? No, we didn't talk about R. Kelly. We talked about childhood events. We talked about. I gave you a preparatory broadcast about childhood events, and I told you we're going to do please today. We're not going to do please today. We're going to do please tomorrow. We got 5 things we're going to do topics under this after this one, but I wanted to set it up first with the inner child, so we have to understand that whenever you hear me refer to the inner child from this point forward, then you have a basis of understanding where I'm coming from. I don't like to throw out terms and stuff like that, and then what are you talking about? Inner child. But everything we do from this point forward, the next few series of videos, broadcasts will be based on the inner child. So I wanted to bring it up. All right. So let's see. Thumbnail for today. I got a lot. I don't have it in order like I normally do. I got to spread out. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. All right. So last time we talked about this right here, challenge events. And I told y'all to do the please and not doing the please. But it was very, very enlightening broadcast. If you missed that broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised by some of the things we talked about. We talked about how some of the things that happened to you in your life as a kid have a tendency to affect your life right now. And sometimes you don't even know it. We're gonna continue that theme today, but more importantly, we're gonna talk about the inner child. This is a thumbnail for today, thumbnail for today, thumbnail for today. Let's go. Inner child, man. Yeah, that lady right there on the right. She the adult, right? And a little lady right down the bottom, that's the inner child. The inner child is always observant. They're always open. And they're always looking at you, looking at things around you. And they learn really, really quickly. And they pick up on stuff like that. And before you know it, your inner child is everything inside you trying to control it. And you don't even realize it. Children have a tendency to do what? Imitate. And learn fast. When you were coming up, you learned so many. Your mind's like a computer. You got a photographic memory. Everything you saw, you try to imitate. And that's how you adapt it. And then some of the things you saw was very traumatic to you, and you didn't know how to cope. So what you did was you shut that part of you down. Right? And I'm gonna tell you some things as we go through this about how we shut things down, and how when we shut things down, when we can't comprehend it and no one deals us and talks to us through it, then we go into a depressive mode, and then we go into a regressive mode, and then we go into ignoring something that happened. But the mind always remembers everything. thing that happened. You may not be able to recall it immediately, but when you dig there, you'll find out that it did happen. Sometimes people remember as far as 1 or 2 years old. Believe it or not, some people remember like that. I can't. I can't do it, man. The farthest I can remember back is like 3, 4 years old. I can remember time like that. Other than that, I can't do it. Okay. But some people remember, and if you have a session with a trained psychologist, will take you back. You remember everything. But yeah, that's how powerful the mind is, and that's how powerful the capacity of the mind is to remember and to perform what it remembers, okay? What it sees and hears, okay? That's why it's so important that when you raise your children, you keep them in an environment that's conducive to them learning positive things, okay? And when they run into some concept, some issue that they don't understand, it is highly, highly important that you break it down to them on a simple layer that they can understand and they can process the information. Okay? All right. So that's it, man. Your inner child. We always have an inner child. So what is the inner child? What is the inner child? I don't know what you're talking about, the inner child. The inner child is a concept that was introduced to the psychology world by Carl Jung. Carl Jung is a famous psychiatrist, and he brought this concept about the inner child. Inner child, it actually it's actually a combination of those experiences that you dealt with as a child. And in those experiences, if you didn't deal with them properly, then you'll be hindered as an adult. Your inner child controls you. It's playful, it's happy, it's joyous, it's creative. It's always want to have fun and have a good time and want me laugh and joke. I have a good inner child. I know when my inner child is up. But you see me say, that's my inner child. But see, I can control my inner child. A lot of us don't control it. Sometimes, I'm going to tell you straight up, sometimes my inner child controls me, okay? Y'all have heard me say I'm playing too much and stuff like that. That's my inner child trying to take control. And then when I know my inner child is trying to take it, I got to push back. I say, okay, I got to start, And sometimes your inner child will get you in trouble if you don't control it, okay? So let's talk a little bit more about the inner child and we'll finish. What is the inner child? The inner child is a childlike, usually hidden part of a person's personality that is characterized by playfulness, spontaneity, creativity, and usually accompanied by anger, hurt, fear, attributable to childhood experience. Remember those 2 words, y'all. Childhood experience. We're going to talk about that a lot. It is the childhood experiences that shape you, that make you, that break you, that take you, okay, away from yourself, away from going up to a proper and a well-shaped and formed human being adult, okay? It is those experiences, ladies and gentlemen, that bombard us. And as children, sometimes we don't filter and see those experiences as they are. Because children view things in the society from a different set of lenses, a different perspective. Okay, so it's important that if you have children, you deal with it. And anything comes to them, sit them down and talk to them on their level so they can get through. Okay, so yeah, child. We all have a childlike experience. We all have a inner child in us, and it's important that we get in touch with our inner child. The inner child is an expression of not just your child self, but your lived experience. There's that word again, lived experiences of all life stages. The inner child is also noted as a source of strength, since early experiences can play a significant part in your development as an adult. This can go both ways, though. When a child experiences negativity, it affects you. It affects your inner child and may continue to carry these wounds until you address the source. Got me? You get wounded as a kid and nobody never deal with that. You never deal with it. You just repress it and say, okay, I got to go on. That's going to always drag. It's going to be a weight. It's going to be a baggage. You don't even know it's there. But when something happens that push that button, the baggage is going to come back out. Okay? And that's any child you can deal with. That situation, that childhood experience you can deal with, and it's coming up when you release expect. Okay? Inner child's important. All right. So let's look at, let's see what else. I got it thrown about a little bit. Give me a minute. Here we go, right here. All right. So we're going to talk about the inner child. I just told you what that was. I wanted to bring that up first. Then we'll talk about, we just examine whether it's the inner child. Then how is it created? And then we're going to look at ACE. I want you to remember that ACE is an acronym. It's an acronym. I'm going to tell you what it means in a minute, but it's important as we continue. Then we're going to talk about sometimes We get wounds, man. Our inner child get one. He showed you. If you get a sore on you and you never deal with that sore, you never put any betadine on it, you never put it, clean it out, you never put a bandage, it's going to get what? It's going to turn into a sore. And then when sores get really bad, what happens when the sore gets really bad? It stinks. That's why so many people had really terrible bad childhoods, and they stink. Not necessarily literally, but their mindset, their mentality stinking. Dirty, evil, stinking thoughts. You say, well, I don't see how you could ever think about doing such a thing. Because you're not in that person's body. You're not in that person's mentality. You didn't deal with the experiences that person dealt with. Okay? And so you that's why we can't fathom that. Some of us has awesome childhoods and great experiences. Others did. But no, even though you can't blame it when they become an adult, you cannot blame what happened to them as a child for what they do as an adult. Okay? And that's so let's say I don't have pity for R. Kelly, because he probably has some inner child stuff too with him growing up, but I don't have pity for him because he's an adult. When you're an adult, you gotta make away, take away, shake away to break off that childish crazy stuff and move in the adult world. He didn't do it. Okay? So let's talk about so we're gonna talk about a lot of things today, and I want to give you some things here that you should be aware of. The way we talk to our children becomes their inner voice. Okay, be careful how you talk to your children, because they listen to you. You'd be amazed at what your children get from you, and they may never say anything to you, but they'll go back. You send them over to your mama's house or whatever. Say, go to Granny for a little while. Next thing you know, they telling Granny everything. You know what, Granny? Mama says she don't like you. What? Yeah, because children are so honest, man, and they pick up stuff that you never thought. I didn't know you. And then your mama get mad at you. You get your little kids. What you telling them? I just tell the truth, Daddy. You said that when you see that. I'll tell you, man. Hey, but that's how life is, man. Kids pick up on everything. Things you don't even want them to pick up on. That's why you got to be careful when you have children and when you talk in front of children, because they pick up things like that immediately, and then they regurgitate it back out when you would least expect it, and to the people you least expected to say it to. Okay, I remember one time, man. My mom was insurance people. We used to pay back in the day. Y'all remember the insurance man? She come to the house, and then my boss said, "Tell her she had the money stuff." She said, "Tell the insurance man I ain't here, because she don't be bought." I like go downstairs. I said, "Oh." My mom said, tell you she ain't here. When I got back up there, she said, I got it, man. But that's how it is, man. Children are very honest, very open, and they remember everything. Okay, all right, so let's go on. So that's our inner child right there. We don't stop playing because we grow up. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Okay, so it's always good to have some inner child. If you have a positive inner child energy in you, always remember, stay in touch with that, because it keeps you from getting old and stiff, and it keeps you being creative. It keeps you with a certain amount of playfulness in you, and it also keeps you tied to a sort of youthfulness in you. That is the inner child. I have a very creative inner child, if you haven't noticed it, because I always bounce. I always got a bounce in me. I don't care what happens to me, I got to bounce. My inner child, I got a very positive inner child. I got a negative one too, but I keep the negative one in the cave. And y'all don't want to see. Y'all don't want to see my negative inner child. I'll be like a terror. You're like, ooh, that BobbieD? I was like, yeah. I'll be coming at you. But no, I keep that one in the cave. But the one that gives me energy and positivity, that one's always close to me. We like that, man. We like that, because that's supposed to be me, But some of us have negative inner child, and we let the negative inner child control us. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. All right, but I told you we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Okay. Now, one thing you should also be aware of is this: children are not things to be molded, but people to be unfolded. Children are people, man. And we try to mold the child, shape the child, and be them all stiff and rigid. Nah, you got children. Most of them are ready to be unfolded and developed, and not molded into something you want them to be, but enveloped develop into what they are supposed to be. And that means you have to unfold the personality and the layers of that child. Okay? And a lot of parents don't do that. They just do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't consider that that child has feelings, that child has emotion, that child has a personality that's trying to seek themselves in this world. Yeah. So that's a very important concept to remember. I'm gonna read it again because it's so I like it so much. It says children are not things to be molded, but people to be unfolded. You ever thought about unfolding your child's mind? Huh? Some of y'all don't even look at your child when they help your child with the homework. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff, man. You think just somebody you got to feed and take care of. I know. That's another bill. You just another bill, boy. Sit down. Come on, man. Come on, man. Children are more than that. They're a blessing from the Lord. And the Lord expects you to treat them right, tie long. Okay, let's go. All right. But those are things I want you to be aware of, that your inner child controls your actions. Even when you're an adult, you've got an inner child that tries to bring you into certain areas that's positive and then certain areas that's negative as well. The main point is that we control that inner child and not that the negative inner child control us. All right. So look at this. I'm going to give you a chart here. I told you I would tell you about the number 3 one right there. I already told you about the wounds, how we get wounds. And I already told you about healing. I didn't tell you about healing. If you have a wounded inner child, it can be healed, but it takes time. And the way to heal your inner child is you have to go back to the point of the trauma, the point of the injury, the point of the pain, to the source of the crime, so to speak. And then you got to deal with that issue, because a lot of times as you're a child, it's so horrific, it's so terrible, we can't process that at the time. And we don't know how. And all we go into the traumatic stage, and so we're so hurt by it, we just put it to the back of our mind. Because if we keep it on our mind, we go crazy. So I'm telling you, we have wounds in life, but it can be healed. But it takes therapy. It takes talking to someone that's trained. And then sometimes you can just talk to yourself again. I talk to myself a lot of times to get through. You'd be surprised some of the stuff I got through. And I ain't with no psychiatrist. I ain't with no psychologist. All I do is pray to the Lord. And then I talk to myself. It's a therapy called self-talk. Look it up. Think I'm playing with you. Look it up. Self-talk. I did self-talk with myself. There's a lot of things. I had a lot of hang-ups. Man. You see me now? You think I got some hang-ups now? Boy, you knew me back in the day. You looked at me and I said, what you looking at? I think I'm playing with you, man. Hey, man, I was crazy back in the day, man. But I worked on myself. Thank you, Lord. And the Lord worked on me. He ain't finished with me yet, okay? He ain't finished with me. But that's why I tell y'all, I mess up a lot. But you know what I do when I mess up? I confess up. I fess up. I repent. I said, Lord, forgive me for what I did. I didn't mean to cuss that man out. I didn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I do crazy stuff sometimes. But I always come back to the right place, because I know that God is in my life, and He wants me to do the right thing. Okay? All right. So those are things. Now I talked to you about wounds. I talked to you about healing. I want to talk about ACE. Okay? ACE. ACE stands for Adult Childhood Experiences. Okay? So that means your childhood experiences, but you're now adult. You had a lot of childhood experience, but you're now adult. However, those childhood experiences had a tendency to have a big influence on your life. Now this is gonna shock some of y'all. Okay, I'm about to give you some information that's gonna blow your mind. Okay, I never thought about this stuff, man. I researched it, man. But I'm gonna show you some stuff that's gonna you. When I get through this, you're gonna see the gravity of how important it is to have a good, sustaining childhood, and then how important it is to have good parents that help you get through your childhood. You're going to see. I'm going to show you. All right. ACE, Adverse Child Experience. Write that down. Adverse Child Experiences. The acronym is ACE. Okay? It is a traumatic event that can have negative, lasting effects on your health. And not only your health, but your well-being. Okay? Okay. Now, understand this. There's some things that happen to children as they're growing up. Number one, abuse. Okay? Neglect. Household challenges. Okay? Children can have emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Okay? They can have neglect, emotional neglect, physical neglect, household challenge, dramatic violence in the house, substance abuse, mental illness, parental separation or divorce, incarcerated parents might be locked up, daddy might be locked up, mama might be locked. All of those things can cause you to have an adverse childhood experience. Now, here's what science has showed us that happens to people that have one or more adverse childhood experiences in their life. You hear me? And it's not dealt with as an adult. Look here. See down at the bottom of the people, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little men. You see all 8 little men? It said, this research tells us that 1/8 of the population have had more than 4 ACEs. ACEs being childhood, adverse childhood experience. Okay? What? Okay, Lisa D said, am I too loud? I'm sorry if I'm too loud, but I'm excited. Okay, so 1/8 of the population have had at least 4 ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences. Now, I'm going to tell you what happens. If you had 4 or more adverse childhood experiences, you are 3 times more likely to have the levels of lung disease in adult smoking. You are 11 times more likely to have a level of drug abuse in your life. You are 14 times more likely to have a suicide attempt in your life. You are 4 times more likely to have begun intercourse by age 15 if you've had 4 or more adverse childhood experiences, ACEs in your life. Okay? Adverse childhood experiences are the single greatest unaddressed public health threat facing our nation today. 67% of the population have at least one ACE, adverse childhood event. Now you see why your childhood experiences can have a positive or negative effect on your relationship with your lady. Huh? You see how it ties it together? It's all about how you was raised, how your mama praised you, how your mama raised you, how your mama got that tase out when you had the food and tased you. It all comes together. It is so important that you address those issues that you never dealt with as a child. Because if you don't address those issues are going to address you. I just showed you about the amount of adverse childhood experiences. If you have 4 or more, you're going to be in serious trouble. I know I could have some in mind. I didn't have 4. I'm sorry, man. I'm telling you straight up, I didn't have 4. But some of y'all had 4. And I showed you the statistics. If you have 4 or more, what's going to happen? It's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff, But by the grace of God, you can get through that. If God is with you, and you have a praying mother like I did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have 4. I had some childhood adverse experiences, but the statistics tells us that 67% of the population have at least one. So I can tell you, I'm part of that statistic, and you are too. You had everybody in here that had an adverse child experience. You've had an ACE in your life or more ACEs. Okay, I had at least one. I can tell you that. I'm a part of that 67% population, and I know that if I didn't get help with some of the stuff I dealt with, I would be in jail right now, or I'd be 6 feet under. But I got me some help. And I helped myself. I told you I self-talk myself to a lot of stuff. But a lot of people don't even know that they dealing with issues in the past. And they think everything is here and now. And that's why they are missing the boat. And that's why people like R. Kelly sitting in jail right now. Because he never dealt with issues. He never dealt with issues that as a child he was unable to cope with, unable to deal with. He dealt with it inadequately. And so there's a lot of people just like R. Kelly sitting up in jail right now. Okay. Now we're gonna run through this real quick. Trauma. Okay. We talk about trauma. Trauma keeps you in a loop of your past. Some of us will be 25 years old and will have an 8-year-old mindset because we had trauma in our life as a child, and it affected our mind and affected our thought process. That's why people please, That's why we please people a lot, because we have trauma. We don't want to go back to that traumatic time. So we try to get through the trauma without pleasing everybody. Okay? So your mind, your inner child is screaming, saying, finally, someone loves me. Finally, I got through this issue. Finally, I got through all that pain. And now I'm all right. Every time you deal with a traumatic experience, and you had it in your childhood, it's that inner child gonna pull you back to that. Okay? I'm not going to do that. But I had some more examples. That's it right there. But that's all I'm going to say about that. I hope you got a little bit about it. But I have some other things. We're going to rush this tonight, get up out of here, okay? But be like, yee. Well, look, I understand it. These ain't saying nothing. I'll just play it. Isn't that right, AJ? Come on now. At least you go to count sheep, y'all. But that's it, man. I just wanted to bring you this tonight, give you some information on about the inner child and how a huge role your childhood or your ACE, as remember I told you, adverse childhood experiences cause you to have adverse adulthood experiences because they're lingering in the back of your mind and they're holding you back. Many of us are 45, 55, 65, but we're physically grown, but we're mentally imps. Yeah, we got started because we had an ACE in our life, adverse childhood experience, and we never got through it. We never got around it. We never understood it, and it's held us back. And so we think everybody else crazy, and we are all right. Adverse childhood experience. And so when you get into your relationship with your lady, you got to deal with you first, okay? Because if you don't deal with your growing up and the things you got, I know everybody got a hang up, man. I got hang ups right now. Everybody got issues. And if you come into a relationship and you don't deal with your issues, you causing an issue for her. She got issues too. You both have to check out and know what the issues are for each other. And that ties back into the other stage. Remember I did about the stages of relationship? That ties back into the honeymoon stage. That ties that back into the problem, struggle, power struggle stage. All of that, this what I'm talking about, ties back into that. And I hope you keep track of me because if you keep track of me, everything's going to make sense. And that's why I needed to do this because I'm getting to some other things tomorrow that have. I'm gonna fall back on this so you can understand where we're going, where we're talking about, and where we're coming from. I hope it made sense to y'all today, but it made perfect sense to me because I know what I'm talking about. Hey, but yeah, if you have questions about this or anything you need to know, just give me a holler as we go through. We're gonna ride the train a little bit. Yeah. So the main thing, if you don't get nothing else about this tonight, I'm gonna take you back over this. I want you to get this. I want you to get this right here. Okay? ACE. Say it with me. ACE. Adverse childhood experience. It's a traumatic event that can have negative lasting effects on health and well-being. What are adverse childhood experiences? Abuse, neglect, household challenges. Statistics tell us that 1/8 of the population have more than 4 adverse childhood experiences. Okay. Statistics also tell us that 67% of the population have had at least one adverse childhood experience. Okay. The statistics also tell us that the people that have 4 or more ACEs or adverse childhood experiences are 3 times more likely to have lung disease than adult smokers. You smokers out there, you might have had some ACEs. The statistics also tell us they're 11 times more likely to have, if you have 4 more ACEs or adverse childhood experience, you're 11 times to have substance abuse problems and other issues. The statistics also tell us if you have 4 more adverse childhood experiences, you're 14 times more than the regular population to be susceptible to suicide attempts. The statistics also tell us that you would be 4 times as likely to begin intercourse at the age of 15 if you have 4 or more adverse childhood experiences. Statistics also tell us that you are 4.5 times more likely to develop depression if you have 4 or more adverse childhood experience in your lifetime. Statistics also tell us that you are 2 times more likely to have liver disease if you had 4 or more adverse childhood experience. No, so you see, it is psychosomatic. Your children, this thing not only affects your mind, but it affects your body as well. Adverse childhood experiences are the single greatest unaddressed public health threat facing our nation today. Okay, get that, and understand it. Embrace it. Don't run from it because it's information and it's education. Information and education is supposed to get you free. Huh? Don't make you locked up. Don't make you scared. But it tells you information that you can be aware of. I wish I'd have known all of this stuff when I was raising my children. I did. I knew. All I knew was try to raise him right like you was raised. And all I knew was the biblical phrase, raise up a child the way he should go. And when he is old, he would not depart from it. You know? I didn't know all this, but all that stuff here. I didn't know that. But adverse childhood experiences can determine whether someone's going to make it, shake it, break it, or take it in life. Okay? And if you think I'm playing with you, go knock on R. Kelly jail cell door. Okay? See what he tell you about the adverse childhood experience he had. Huh? You think I'm playing? If Charles Manson was here, go knock. If he was here, he's gone now. If he was here, he would probably tell you about the child adverse ACEs he had. He probably had 4 or more. Probably had about 20. You know what I'm saying? The more evil someone is, the more adverse childhood experiences they had in their life. I told you what happened when you had 4, at least 4. Right? That's it, man. That's all I got for you. Lisa, you need to ride train now. All right, Lisa, we don't need to ride the train tonight, so we don't ride train. Okay? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing with y'all. We gonna ride train. We gonna be back in the mountain. People get ready. Whether the train is coming, don't need no ticket. You just get down board or needed love. Who said it? Said sweet, sweet love. Don't need no ticket. You just get down, whoa, get down, whoa, yeah. Y'all ready, man? Skip it 1 minute, please. Lisa, do you look at me like? You know why? Because she sounds too loud. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You know, not doing that, get it set. I'm sorry. Y'all got to excuse me. But I love what I do, and I do what I love, okay? And sometimes when I do what I love, and I love what I do, I get excited, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way everybody should be. You should love what you do and do what you love and get excited. When you get excited, you bring what to the equation? Energy. Yeah, you bring energy. This excitement causes me to bring energy. You feel my fire, don't you? I know you do. You ain't got to tell me. When I say toot toot, you say all aboard toot toot. Toot toot. When I say all aboard, you say toot toot. All aboard, all aboard, all aboard. They ride the train today, y'all. Are y'all ready, man? I gotta find out who I'm talking about. Buffed up no thing first, man. Who that is? Say they gonna beat them. I need to know, man. Quite a amount of know. I like to know everything that I can possibly know. You know? I'm just a inquisitive person, and I want to know who's the number one honcho. Yeah, who got that number one mentality, man? I like to be around people that's sharp up here. I like to be around people that know what they know, and they gonna get on mine and show it. You know what I'm saying? I like to be around people that's bold. You know, want to be out in the front. I like that, man, because that means they ain't scared to do nothing. And they're the kind of people I want on my side. When I go to battle, I don't want nobody. I don't know about them, I'm scared. I don't want that. I don't want that kind of person next to me. I'm the man, Peter, get on from my. I'm gonna get away from me. I'm gonna get yourself away from me, but that kind of talk. I want somebody that's positive, that's focused, that's got a right mind, and they ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? So when you're the number one person, you got that kind of mentality. I'm all fire, man. We're gonna find out who rubbing up, tubbing up, bumping up with the bird, man. I need to know. I gotta know. I'm sorry, I said it too quick. I said it too fast. We have to find out who's rough enough. We have to find out who's tough enough. We have to find out who's buffed up enough to be the first man in his house. Can we find that out? Let's go. I'm gonna do it down here and find that out. Who that say they can't beat them? So I need to know. Hey, who we got? Monroe Smith in the house. What's up, Monroe? He said, hello. What's up, Monroe? So good to see you, my guy. Monroe. Okay, at least D finally decided to come over tonight, y'all. I'm so happy to have you with me. Lisa D, I'm so happy to have you with me tonight today. Lisa D have us. Sometimes she be with us, and then sometimes she don't be with us because she like to do her thing, you know what I'm saying? But she has to be scheduled, so I don't put pressure on Lisa D. This D does a lot for me, man. I'm serious. She does more than you would think for me. And she helps. That's why I put her name on the show. She helps me with a lot of stuff, a lot. But you know what?
Let's go.
She gotta stop even talking. All right, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my lovely wife. Her name is Tuba Queen. Y'all, that's the name y'all gave her. And she wears it proudly. She likes that name now. She didn't like it at first, but then she said, that's me now. All right, that's right, it did. But that's her name, y'all. She's adopted that name. And thank you guys for giving her a pet name like Lisa, Tuba Queen. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Tuba Queen. Yo, Tuba Queen. This is my wife. Hey, I couldn't ask for a better lady in my life, man. She knows me sometimes better than I know myself, and vice versa. You know, we've been together so long, man. We're here in this house a lot by ourselves. We just know each other. And I'm proud to be with her every day of my life. Thank you so much for being part of my life, BobbieD.
Thank you so much, also.
You're welcome. All right, let's go right out. Hey, Monroe, man, sorry to put you through that mess right there, but look, yeah. So good to see you, man. Monroe, he got the right mentality. He's roughing up, toughing up. Monroe is the kind of guy I want when I go in the back. Okay? I'm serious, man. Monroe got the mentality that will help me defeat the enemy. You know, you need somebody that's going to help you when you're facing the enemy. Your enemy could be a lot of depression. When you feeling the enemy, you facing the enemy depression, you want somebody to go and say, look, man, stop. Get out of this. No, but you want somebody to be with you that can pull you out of stuff. You know, that don't want to take, because if you let pressure take you over, you're going to go into a dark place. And you can't get out by yourself. You need friends, you need people that pull you out. And Monroe's the kind of guy, man. I need people like Monroe on my side. Isn't that right, LD?
Bro.
Don't listen to her, y'all. But Monroe, you are the kind of guy you showed the evidence that tonight by being number one on the love train. And so we say congrats to you. Y'all give me props. Monroe is from North Carolina, and he always said, I'm from Greenboro, North Carolina. But you know what? I'm a Kakalaki boy too. I'm from the South, he's from the North, and we stick together. Two peas in a pot stick together. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't mess with a South Carolina boy or North Carolina. Hey, we get on, we put it on. Like we got Monroe. He said, "Hello, BobbieD, and this deep Greenboro, North Carolina." I told you, man. Monroe always give presence and voice to where he's from. And he's from Greensboro. He loves the city. He loves the state. And he don't care who knows about it. He want to tell the world about it. Hey, do your thing, Monroe. It's all right to have pride from where you came from, man. You know, I came from South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. I love my city. I love the state, even though it's one of the most worst states in the world. I still love where I came from, right? That's where I came from, right? So that's why everybody loves their roots, right? Let's go, Roger. Who we got? Monroe. He said, yes, BobbieD. You have to fix yourself first before you can get into relationship definitely with other people. Yeah, man. If you don't deal with your demons, I call them your demons. If you don't deal with those issues you have them, it's foolish for you to enter in any relationship with anybody else, because those demons have not been dealt with, and they're going to come out. And they're going to come out in your relationship. And then what happens a lot of times, Monroe, is that when we get in a relationship with other people, with another partner, we hide those. Okay, these two want to go. These two, come on now. I'm trying to explain this that shit. That means let's go. Oh, you didn't say anything, but I know her. I know these demons. But yeah, let me just be real quick about that. When you get in a relationship with other people and you hide your demons will come out. And sometimes they come out at the worst time. And remember I told you about the relationship stages of relationship? There's a honeymoon stage, there's a power struggle stage. Usually that power struggle stage, that's when the demons going to show up. You know? Who is you? What did you say? You never say that to me before. That's the demons coming out that you never knew about. And so when you come together, you can share and bear everything about yourself. That causes a lot of problems, cuts a lot of problems out in relationship. And a lot of people still, even do the guitar shows today, and they go behind, they hide stuff, man. They hide stuff, you know. And you should. That's causing problems. Everything to be open up and on the tip. I'm saying some good stuff, but you know what? Let's go, Roger. Let's go. Who we got? John Thomas. Big John in the house. Big John in the house. What's up, Big John? How you doing, brother? So good to say, so good to say, so good to see ya. Big John Thomas. Good morning,
Silver bullet.
Silver bullet. We just came from the brown bullet and bronze bullet, and now we got the silver. So no, Quicksilver now. Good to see you, John. He said, good evening, Bobby. Good evening to you, John. Good morning, John. Is coming to us from North Carolina. New York. I'm trying to make you go to Greensboro. I'm sorry for that. But Greensboro's a nice place. But New York City's good. John is in New York City. I like New York City. It's a very exciting town. There's a lot of things to do there. People are not as friendly as they are in the South. But nevertheless, it's a nice place to do, nice place to go, and a lot of things to do. And I was there several times. I have people that are there. You have to be a little bit more independent because people keep in. Can you tell me where this will get up? I used to go around and ask people, can you tell me where this get on my face? Excuse me. They're not as pleasant as they are in the South.
You're not the long here.
Yeah, they can tell that we were tourists. You can tell the tourists how they dress and carry the cameras and all that stuff. So they're not happy to see you too and mess with them. So good to see you, John Thomas in the house, Big John.
Number 2, just want to.
This you call it, did you? Yeah. Hey, John, you see this slip that on you. She said number 2, just want to. Good to see you, man. Right there. Did you read?
Big man in the house. What's up, Sir Terry? He said, toot, right back at you.
Toot right back at you, Jerry Fleming. And Rayman in the house. Rayman in the house. Woo, what's up? Jerry Fleming said, congrats, Sir Monroe. And Sir John Thomas, y'all did the thing right time, long, strong, man. Y'all made it. Y'all in the house, man. So good to see you. So good to see my people in the house. Round train, Bobby, who we got? Anthony Leon. What's up, Anthony?
What's up? Magandang gabi, BobbieD and Lisa D, please. A peace to all those riding the live train today.
Okay, thank you so much, Anthony. So good to see you, my brother. Long time no see. You all right, man? Anthony Leon's out there in Florida. I think in Florida. And Anthony was out there for a while. He's back in Florida, man. And he's having a good time in the States. So good to see Anthony. Round train, Bobby, One Nation. Who we got?
Anthony Liggins, we grow old because we stop playing. I like that.
Yeah, stop playing. We get to be rigid in our thinking. We don't have any creativity. We don't have any flexibility. And so we get stagnant and we stuck and we get like in a box, you know? And so sometimes we need to break out of that box. We need to break out of our comfort zones. And that's why our positive inner child gets us. Because a positive inner child is always creative, always friendly, always wants this playful spirit. But, you know, those things like that, we need to be a little bit more looser to enjoy our lives even better than we are now. Some people, they don't know about being creative. They just want one way to think stuff, one way to do stuff. That's it. None that. But they lose out. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Let's go right train, Bobby, Easy. Come on, Easy. Who we got?
Andy, what's up? Long time no see.
Andy, what's up, Andy?
Where have you been, Andy?
He said, hey, Bobby.
Andy.
What's up, Andy? You all right, man? So good to see you. So good. Hey, that's why we come at these different hours, because we catch a lot of people that we don't normally see. And it's so good to see people that we don't normally see. I like to see everybody we come on the air. Every time we come on the air, I would like to see everybody. But, as you know, everybody has different schedules, different things to do. So we break it up and we come at different hours as well. So, Andy, so good to see you, man. Always good to see Andy. Andy's been working hard. He's working hard, guys, saving up his money, want to come to the Philippines. And you got a long time to wait because the way it looks like now, we might be 2023 before we when they open this place up. Let's go. Who we got?
Monroe, hello, Big John.
What's up, Big John? Yeah, right, man. So good to see you, man. Round the train, Bobby, Lacey, and One Nation under. Who we got? Monroe. He said, hello, Jerry Fleming. What's up, man? Thumbs up to you. Round the train, Bobby, Lacey. Who we got?
Monroe, thanks, Sir Fleming, for congrats. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, man. Round the train, Bobby, Lacey, One Nation.
Michael, coffee.
Need some coffee.
Lisa D and BobbieD, hello, magandang umaga, gabi, hapon, gabi, kumusta ka in Cebu?
Good to come, Michael. Good to see you, man. Michael Coffee now. He's our frontliner on the nursing side. He's in Cali, and he's always works a lot, and he's doing his best to keep people alive. You know? So good to see you, Mike. Stay healthy, stay strong, and do your thing. Let's go right train by the One Nation. Who we got?
Terry Fleming.
What's up, Terry?
When we are young, we can't wait to get older, never realizing that aging comes with consequences. The body will send you into a second childhood worse than one before.
Tell me about it. My mama used to say, keep on living, son. Yeah, that's what my mama used to say. She said, keep on living, son. I complain about stuff. And I said, well, no. No, I remember one time my mama was trying to put a needle, put a thread in the needle, right? You know? And she had on the glass. She said, I can't see this. I said, Mom, you can't see that? That was back them days. I wasn't wearing no glass. You know, I was like, Mom, you can't see. She said, she said, thread that needle, son. Thread that needle. I said, that's him, Mama. Hey, I know you can see. She said, son, keep on reading. Keep on. And nowadays, I can't thread it. She had this really cool way of teaching me and showing me things about life. She would always say, when I act crazy, he said, and her experience wanted to show me to them, said, keep on living, son. Keep on living. You know? And when she said that to me, I knew I better shut my mouth. Let's go. Who we got?
Michael Coffee. Need some coffee, Lisa D and BobbieD. Hi. God bless and shine all over the love train riders today. Keep the faith from Nurse Mike.
Thanks so much for right train BobbieD, One Nation Under. Who we got?
Bijan. Good morning, Terry Fleming, Monroe Smith, and Michael Coffee, the rest of the love train. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody out there. Good evening to you on my side of town. Let's go right train BobbieD, One Nation.
Gunny in the house.
Gunny in the house, Gunny in the house, woo! Gunny in the house, Gunny in the house, woo! What's up, Murphy? Hey, go finger. What's up, Murphy? She said, "What up, guys?" Terry, Monroe, Michael, John. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much, Murphy. Murphy's still trying to work on getting the gimbal. He gave me the gimbal, and it's held up in customs, man. I don't know. Hey, man, when you send stuff out here to the Philippines, it's a whole lot of rigmarole. I don't even know what rigmarole is, but. It's a whole lot of mess, but eventually they'll get here. Thank you so much, Murphy. The right train by who we got?
Michael Coffee. We need some coffee. Lisa D and BobbieD. Hello, Philippines broadcaster Rafi Tofu. Naghain ng OC sa pagkasenador. Rafi Senator Aspire.
Right. Rafi Tofu, if those of you that know him or not, he's a very famous YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel. And he has a radio station channel where he handles and helps people. They have problems, mostly foreigners. They have problems with Filipinos, catch, scam them or whatever. But guess what? He is now going to be running for senator, for state senator, from country senator from the Philippines. So he signed his COC. He filed his COC, and COC is certificate of certificate of candidacy. That means they're legit for running the race. So he's going to be running for senator. And guess what? I guarantee you he will be elected. You know why? The people out here, I'm telling you something about politics here in the Philippines. Normally, in the USA and most other places, when they vote based on their platform and based on their records and what they say they're going to do, right? No, not out here. Out here, most people vote based on what? Popularity. That's just the way it is. Most people vote here on popular. How famous they are. Do they know them? Do they see them on TV every day? That's the way it is. So I guarantee you, Rafi Tofu will win the senator's race. Let's go, Ryan Train BobbieD. Who we got?
Murphy Hayes, Bobby, and Lisa D. 2-2.
2-2 right back at you. Got Ryan Train BobbieD, One Nation.
Murphy Hayes, congratulations, Sir Monroe. Number 1.
Monroe ain't playing, man. Monroe got a new mindset, a new mentality.
Michael Coffee, we need some coffee. Jan Thomas, hello, sir. God bless you. Keep the faith. Stay positive in your life from Nurse Mike.
Thank you so much. Ryan Train, Bobby Easy, One Nation Under. Who we got?
Michael Coffee, Lisa D and BobbieD, hello. When I visited Cebu in 2017, 18, 19, I would listen to Rafi sometimes on 92.3 FM station there.
Yeah, Rocky comes on every day. Oh, I think Monday to Friday, but he's good. Lisa D, like who likes Rocky too? Lisa D. That's one of her favorite persons. She will listen to him on YouTube a lot. She likes it. She likes
It
him.
makes you interested.
Yeah, she likes it because he helps people, and he brings a lot of very interesting people on the show. One time he brought this lady from where's she from? Uganda, the African lady.
Oh, Uganda.
Uganda, and man, she was just the nicest. She was just the nicest person from Africa I'd ever seen on TV, and she wound up getting thousands and thousands of dollars. She wanted money to get back home to Uganda, and she came here to the Philippines because she wanted to be. She was made for a person here in the Philippines, and the people that they misused her, they abused her, and everything. Let's go. Ryan Chen, Bobby Lisa, One Nation.
Michael Coffee, didn't see
Lisa. Michael Carver, he's a Lisa Bobby. Hello. And I said Duterte Mayor DeVal, President Duterte's daughter, says she might run for president. Yeah. She's been saying that for a long time. Okay, let me tell you some of the politics out here. Okay. We have several people that are running for president. And they're going to be preparing more until the 8th. They have until October the 8th to declare their candidacy. And they have to go to this place and file what's called a COC, Certificate of Candidacy. Certificate of Candidacy. Okay, I forgot what I was saying. But they have a lot of time to do it until the 8th. If they don't file, they won't be able to run. However, in the case of Sarah Duterte, which is Duterte's daughter, she filed to run as continued as re-elected for mayor of Davao, which she currently is. So she filed her COC to continue to run for re-election as mayor. Now they're saying she's going to run for presidency. But here's the thing: once you file one COC for one particular office, you can't really just drop that and go to another one. So we don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see how it works out. Many people want her to run for president because of the fact that her father, which is Rodrigo Duterte, decided he wanted to resign from politics. Okay, so now he was running for vice president. Now one of his close associates, which is Bongo, is running for president, vice president, and he wants his daughter. They said he wants his daughter Sarah to run for president. We will see. There's a lot of people running for presidency, and I just hope the right person wins. I can't vote. Lisa D can. Lisa, we gonna go for?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Right now, who's your favorite?
Myself.
Okay. Let's go right here, Bobby Lisa, One Nation.
Monroe, hello, Murphy Hayes. What's up?
Right here, Bobby Lisa, One Nation. Monroe Smith. You say, hello, Michael Coffee. I need some coffee. We need some too. Right here, Bobby Lisa.
Michael Coffee, Lisa D and BobbieD, hi. I would like to see Governor of Cebu City, Gwendolyn Garcia, run for the president. This lady is smart, has handled COVID-19 situation well.
Gwendolyn Garcia is an excellent choice, but I don't think she's going to run because she likes what she's doing now. And maybe in the future, maybe next time they run, she might, I don't know. But she enjoys being the governor here, and I don't think she's ready. She wants to. She's more than qualified. No question about that. More than qualified. But I think she's liking what she's doing now. She don't want to go any further. Let's go right there, Bobby Lisa, One Nation. Who we got? Michael Coffin needs something. He said, Monroe Smith. Hello, sir. God's wonderful blessing be with you. Keep the faith on nurse. Right there, Bobby Lisa, One Nation. Michael Coffin needs some coffee. He's a decent Bobby. It's going to be a very interesting president race with Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao running also. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think it is going to be very interesting. Like I said, we got a lot of people running, man, a lot. And let me tell you about this law they have out here. There's a law when people run for presidency or big races. They call it the nuisance law. And the nuisance law means that, let's say, anybody can run, right? Anybody can run. However, they have a board out there. It's called COMELEC, which stands for the Committee of Elections Board. Okay, so they have to review the candidates, and if they think that you're just up there to be up there doing something, you have no chance of winning, they'll declare you a nuisance, and you get kicked out as a nuisance violator law, and so you will never run. I think that sometimes the United States should have that as well. Nuisance law. Let's go, Ryan Train Bobby. Who we got?
Michael Coffee said the BobbieD, hello. Some foreigners or expat will go to Rafi Tofu to try to get their pesos back after they discount by Filipinos.
Right. That's you see that that's a very common theme on this show. It happens just about almost every other day. They got a foreigner out there crying, well, you got scammed by this Filipino, and can you help me get my money back? Let's go, Ryan Train Bobby. Who we got?
Anthony Legans, hey BobbieD, I'm coming to you from great state of Michigan.
Okay.
Go blue.
Okay, go blue. Okay, yeah, let's keep it blue. I don't want to see Michigan be red, man. I want to be blue. Let's go blue. Hey, I thought you was in Florida, man, but I'm so glad to see you in Michigan. Ryan J. Bobby, who we got?
Anthony Legans, I heard a rumor that the SRRB process was changed, and now I'm eligible to apply. A special exemption is granted for entrance to the Philippines, and then you have to apply for the SRRB, the Filipino person.
There's some changes that have come up with the SRRB. I haven't read on it. I just saw it briefly. I didn't read all the details on it yet, but I'm gonna bring that to you. You are correct. There are some changes going on. They're trying to get people here as quick as they can, and the SSRB is a backdoor way of getting into the Philippines, as well as the business visa. Those are backdoor ways of getting into the Philippines right now, and they're trying to get people in the Philippines as much as possible. Back doors, because the front door is closed. You know what I'm saying? Because of the pandemic. So back door is 13A visa, back door is the SRRB visa, back door is the business visa right now. And so, yeah, some changes have been made, and there'll probably be more changes to come. Let's go. Ryan Train Bobby DC, One Nation. Who we got?
Michael Coffee. Lisa D and BobbieD, hi. I guess the Philippines will have a new president by June 2022 next year. Let's see who the winner will be there.
2023. Yeah, 2023 will be a new president.
2022.
I mean, sorry, 2022. Yeah, I'm sorry. It'll be 2022 will be a new president, and it's going to be amazing to see who it is. I think any one of them could win it right now. Right now, I think the main front runners, Bongbong Marcos is in the race, right? He's Ferdinand Marcos, the big dictator they had here for years. That's his son, so he's in the race. We got Pacquiao in the race. We got Isko Moreno. He's the mayor of Manila. He's in the race. And who else, please, D? Lenny Roberto. Did you get in there?
No. There's another one.
Oh, Lacson.
Yeah.
Lacson is a former senator and a former head of the PNP police. So those are the major players. There's a lot of others, but you don't know them. They're not known. But those are the four major players that are in the race right now. And if I had to give a betting, Sarah hasn't gotten in yet. If Sarah gets in the race, she will be the number one out of the gate. She'll be the number one target out of the gate. Okay, because of popularity. I told you they vote on popularity here, who they know. So if she gets in, she's going to be number one. But right now, I think Pacquiao's probably on the top side, and Isko Moreno. They love that mayor of Manila. They love him because he's doing a great job there. Let's go, Ryan Train. Who we got?
Anthony Legans, do you know if that's true now, BobbieD? I'm a veteran over 50, so SRRB might be feasible for me if the tourism visa doesn't open.
Right. The SRRB visa is available. The last time I checked, the age was 35, but they changed it. It is now 50. You have to be 50 plus. Used to be 35, but the Chinese, thank the Chinese for them changing it, because Chinese were taking advantage of that just to get in there. They wasn't retiring, they were just playing like they were retiring to get in there, get easy piece with it, come and go. But if you're a veteran athlete, you won't have to, you usually have to pay like 10,000, but if you're a veteran, you can pay 1,500 and get in. But it's an option for you. I mean, if you're a veteran, you won't have to pay that. You don't have to pay that 10,000. You take 1,500, get in, and then you can come and go like anybody else. It's a permanent resident visa. So that is one option for you. They have made changes, and I think they've made one more change. I'm gonna verify that change, and I'll have that information for you tomorrow about other changes they made to the SRRB visa. I did a show on that once about the changes. I think I did 2 SRRB broadcasts. But check them out on the broadcast as well. You might see something there.
Murphy Hayes, the shipping agent, told me it is a common occurrence in Philippine custom.
Okay. So this is common. They always hold stuff up. And you know why they hold stuff up, right, Murphy?
Check. Tax.
On side. They want more money. That's how they do. It's all about the money in the Philippines, man. I don't care what you say or what you do. It's all about the money.
Of course. It's normal.
she is a Filipino, you know. Let's go right there, Bobby. Who we got?
Murphy Hayes.
Lisa D for president.
Your vote for me, please.
Okay, you can put her down as a write-in. Okay, y'all Filipinos out there, y'all put it. What you doing? Just playing, you Lee. Just playing, Lee. Just playing. Right here, Bobby. Who we got? Send the man. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Look at the same.
See ya.
Send the man there. I said, hello, Bobby D. What's up, Sam? I sent you a message, man. Get me back when you can, okay, Sam? So good to see you. So, hey, y'all check out his show, man. Then the man is knocking down the door. He getting people in, he's doing his thing, man. Roger, Bobby, One Nation, other. Who we got?
Michael Coffee.
Need some coffee? It's easy. Hey, guys, man, don't forget, with the SRRB visa, Philippines visa, you need to you have 15,000 or 20,000 USD in your bank account. Yeah, I know. I thought the 10,000 may have gone up or down, but you have to have so much that cash that you bring in here, and then you can invest that cash. There's several types of visa. Y'all need to go back and look at those broadcasts I did on the visa. You can invest your money in certain things, certain visas. They have several different types of visas. So complex. I did 2 broadcasts on it. So go check those broadcasts out. But you have to have that money. Now you don't have to have the 15 or the 20 or that the 10, whatever. If you are a veteran, you can claim a veteran waiver, and they'll drop it down to 1,500. Many of the veterans do that, and then they'll let you get in. They'll hold that money for you. And then you'll get it back later with interest, okay? But they usually want to bring up that they want to make sure that you're here to stay. That's why they require a lot of money. And those are good visas because you can get up and go anytime you get ready. Those are permanent resident visas. So they'll cost. I have a permanent resident visa. I have a 13A, which is called a marriage visa. I can come and go when I get ready. But I don't want to do that right now because sometimes when you leave the Philippines, it's hard to get back in. I'm staying. I know a lot of people left here and can't get back in. Let's go, Roger. Who we got?
Anthony Liggins, Michael Coffee. You only need $1,500 for military veterans plus the application.
Right, $1,500 for the military veteran. And then your application fees as well. That's right. But $1,500 is a good deal, man. If you want a permanent visa, $1,500 is not a lot of money, man. If you're a veteran, man, take advantage of that, man. But read up on it. I think you have to apply for it here. And there's a whole lot of stuff for it, but once you get it, you got it, okay? And then they can't take it away from you. Let's go right to everybody. DC One Nation. Who we got? Send it, Bobby. You need to send my.
Did you send it to my?
Oh no, I didn't send it to your email. I sent it to your Facebook. Check your Facebook out, bud. Got it, buddy. Got it. Buddy, check your Facebook out, man. I checked you. If you want me to send it to your email, I do that. But I sent you Facebook. Roger, Bobby. Who we got?
Michael Coffee. Anthony, hi. You are 100% correct, but not veteran. you need to have the amount in your USA account, Philippines, change the amount again.
I don't know. There may have been some changes, but the last time I did my report, it was $1,500 for veterans, and then you would have to put that money. You would have to put it in BPI, BDO. They have certain banks that you would put it in, and then you have to go to. When you get here, that's when you have to apply. You can't apply overseas for that. You have to be here to apply for it. You can actually put the paperwork in overseas, but to obtain the SRRB, you actually have to be here. And I had one of the guys we met. Remember the guy we met in the grocery store, the short guy, that guy, short black guy, in the grocery store. And y'all, you remember the old guy and the black guy together?
Oh yeah.
Hey, he was one of those guys we met. He had applying for his SRRB, and he had just came. He told me the whole process. He had to pay the money. He had to come here. He had to fill out. So he said so much paperwork, man. But he said it was very helpful. So there's a lot of paperwork involved. He got the veterans discount, which is $1,500. You only have to pay $1,500. So it can be done, man. But you got to have to know all the procedures before you get it done. That's it. All right, guys. If you're really. Well, we got to go.
Go.
All right, guys. This is BobbieD.
And the two queen, Lisa D.
No, you got to do what?
Oh, okay.
See how soon we forget.
Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Chichapaya!
Please hit the like button. And our Facebook fan page is called the Philippines Connection. Please like the page, and you can also follow us on Instagram at BobbieD Life in the Philippines. Look at the video description for media information. And if you are viewing the live stream as a recorded replay, allow the ads to run during the video. And we have a free Android app in Google Play Store called Philippines Expat Lifestyle. Download and enjoy our videos without going through the YouTube app. And if you are a veteran,
You can call 1-800-827-1000. Call this Veterans Information January 2020. All veterans with a VA card will have access to benefits. And we have merchandise available for you to purchase. Check them out at lifeandfieldbobbyd.com.
that's it.
All right, guys. That's it for now. We'll be back to you. See you on the next side, on the next one, on the other side. This is BobbieD.
And the two queen.
You sure about that? You don't sound too sure.
Looking for the clothes.
This is BobbieD.
And the two queen, Lisa D.
Say take care.
God bless.